Good morning. Just wait for a few minutes for people to join. 2 of you here, welcome. So this is my first time I've done it, so I'm just trying to work out the technology. So just be patient with me for a moment. I'm just trying to see. I can't see anybody's messages. So if you could just pop in the chat. Jeanette, hello, good morning. Can see you. Excellent. So yeah. I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds. Morning, Judith. We have got a few more people coming, so I'm just going to just say how nice it is that a couple of you have started. You've given up your time and you're here, and that's lovely. Morning, Glenn, I presume, or Ali. Yeah, good morning. How nice. Morning, morning, yes. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So at the moment, all of you that are here know me. So I'm not going to say the bit of introducing who I am because you all know who I am at the moment. So, but as others join, I'm Helena. How lovely. Good morning. How nice. Yeah. So I think while we're waiting for a few others, just sort of settling into a nice comfy position where you are and getting settled in for the hall of a little connection time and a meditation. And I've got a few questions that people have mentioned that we'll explore during this time together. So if any of you have got anything that you're struggling with at the moment, then pop that, if you're happy to, in the box. Great, you can hear me. So pop that in the message box if you're happy to say something as simple as it might be sleep or anxiety, or you might be feeling absolutely fine and that's good too. You can pop that in there. So this is just a top up for some of you. So yeah, finding comfy position, maybe having a little drink with you, drink of water. In fact, I've got my water, which I will have a little sip of. Morning, Sue. I'm doing that bit that I really hate on other people's Facebook lives where they say hello and hello and hello. But actually, it really does matter. It matters that you're noticed. It's a moment of connection. So, all of you are noticed and all of you are connected with. So notice any irritation or boredom in the waiting, and see if you can just... Morning, Kath. Lovely to see you too. So yeah, it just notice anything that arises. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start, and I think there's a couple of people here that have joined that maybe don't know me. So if I sort of say a little bit about who I am, because when this is played back, there'll be people who don't know who I am. So obviously I'm Sue, and my main job is working with families and parents and children, but my passion and my love is my mindfulness, which is obviously Mindful Life East, and I'm also an NLP coach, which is a really precious way of working with our experience. So, and it complements mindfulness beautifully. So, and I'm also very passionate about energy healing. So I do Indian head massage and Reiki. So working with the body when we're doing mindfulness, all of those other things come into play in what I deliver and how. Jolene, good morning. In Australia. Yeah, it's their nighttime and it's our daytime. Yeah. So that's a little bit about me and who I am, and I absolutely love the work that I do, all of my work, paid and yeah, I enjoy my work. So for those of you, I'm glad you can hear me. For those of you that if you could pop in the message box whether you're a beginner, whether you're someone who knows something about meditation, or someone who's quite experienced in meditation, if you could just pop a little tiny something in, that would help me know who I'm targeting it to. And for some of you, it may be that you've got a practice and you've slipped off the practice for a while for lots of reasons. So yeah, if you're happy to put something in the box, please do. If not, no worries. So the reason I'm doing these lives is never before have we been in a world situation that's actually goes to our core, that absolutely is every single one of us is affected, and whether we know someone or whether we're just very frightened of getting the virus or just increased anxiety. Good morning, Amanda. Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, so I want to offer something that is, we've all got so many ways that we support ourselves, and this is another way in our toolbox of life that can. Is anyone else experiencing breaks in sound? Do a simple meditation every day. Mindfulness. Yeah. So I'm just reading. Sorry, trying to do both. Great. So yeah, I'm offering this to you to help you get the chance to ask me for a little bit of direct support, and I can build that into each week into the meditations to help you. So it will be a little bit of responding to your questions, and it will be doing a meditation. So yeah. So I'm going to just say, for those of you that are new or those that know something about meditation, but it never hurts us to have a little refresh of what we're actually doing and why we're doing it. So mindfulness is actually it's all about awareness. It's everything that we do. It's not necessarily about feeling chilled and calm and happy. If those things arise, that's fantastic. But actually, it's about awareness of the tension, awareness of the suffering, awareness of the joy, or whatever it is that we're experiencing. That is what it's all about. So we're practicing building up that capacity to stay with our experience without necessarily needing to push it away or needing to cling on to the good because we don't want it to go. So it's that ability to cope with the ordinary, everyday, neutral experiences, and that they all matter. All of the experiences matter. So it's about having that awareness, is about a spacious, non-judgmental awareness. It's about knowing that we will feel, we're human and we will feel the whole range of emotions, and being kinder to ourselves with those, being kinder with our experience. So it's a chance to put in a pause. So putting in that pause, slowing things down, and stepping out of what we call autopilot. So that autopilot where we don't even know where the day went, we don't know where time went, We don't know when we are driving, when we're back to driving, that we don't know how we got there. We're just on autopilot. So though that's a skill to have, it means we miss out on a lot of really precious things. So how does being aware help? So being aware helps because if we're not aware of let's take an example of awareness. So at this moment, we're spending a lot more time around our families, around our loved ones. We're spending a lot less time with people that we miss, that we want to be with. So having that awareness allows us to feel more present and more grounded and more in touch with how our lives actually are, rather than how we'd like them to be or how we think they are. So, for example, if you're finding being around people more that you might feel they're more irritated or you're more irritated and you're having a go at each other, if you're not aware and you just get into that at each other, then you just, it builds and builds. Whereas if you're aware, I'm feeling a little bit over, it makes it easier because you're aware that you're overstimulated. You're aware that actually you just need to put in a little space, a little kindness. So I don't know if that answers your question, and if we're aware of our suffering, we can actually, like I do a lot of healing touch. So if I'm not aware of that and I just think, I've got a tight tummy or I'm tense in my chest, but I'm not aware that actually what I need is a little care and connection, then that's that. So does that help? I hope that helps. Yeah. So let's have a go, and we'll get into doing a meditation, which is, it's about that mind-body connection. So we often live our lives, our mind is our king, our queen, our everything. And actually there's so much more of our experience that actually helps us feel more integrated. And people get that a lot through singing, through dancing, through yoga, through qigong. But we can also access that deeper, settled aliveness by coming into our bodies. So, okay, so one of the bits before we practice is that why we practice is this actually changes our neural pathways. It's rooted in neuroscience. So we change our mind to change our brain. So our mind is what we use for our awareness, for our focus. So when we say sit and meditate, these neural pathways, we're like clearing the forest in our brain. And what we're doing is making change to the hardware is our brain and the software is our mindfulness practice. So we'll practice some software work now. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to find a nice comfy position, and just notice and you can close your eyes if you want to, or you can just cast your eyes down. You don't have to close them. And just allow the content of what we've just talked about to settle, to land. So noticing the surface, you can lie down if you want to. You don't have to sit up, you can lie down, because what we're going to do is a little body scan. So a body scan is where we take our awareness through the body. So we're not looking for a particular experience, it will be what it will be. So we're going to move through from the head right down through the body to the feet. So I will guide you. And if at any time the sensations or the experience becomes overstimulating, you're finding it just a little bit difficult, if you've got your eyes closed, just open them bring your awareness into your hands and your feet, your arms, and then come back to the part of the body that we're looking at. So we're looking to be able to look after our well-being by what we call widening that lens of awareness to the edges of the body, to the feet, the hands, maybe look around the room. And that close-up lens of awareness, which we do in a body scan as we take ourselves through the body. So I'm gonna start from the head down to the toes in this one. So bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. So we're like little detectives. We're just being curious and interested at bits of our body that we probably don't even notice a lot of the time. So settling into the crown of the head, what is it you notice? Maybe a tightness, a tingling, maybe nothing very much at all. And then sliding that awareness down to the back of the skull, feeling into the back of the skull. So normally we're sort of looking at it from the outside, but in a body scan we're feeling it. So we're not looking for anything particular, we're just what's there, notice. If you are lying down or your head's resting on the back of a chair in the sofa or something, just feel that connection of the head. Coming round to the skull, between the eyebrows and the hairline, and right round to the temples. So it's a soft, gentle noticing, welcoming whatever you find. And round to the ears and the temples. So there isn't a right way. It's your body, what's there. And how about the eyes and the eyelids? If your eyes are closed, feeling the eyelids resting on the eyes, and the eyes resting in the sockets. And the nose, and the nostrils. So seeing if you notice whether there's a felt sense of the breath moving through the nose, through the nostrils. And perhaps you feel that tracking down through into the throat. And the cheeks. And the lips. And the chin. So it might feel tense and tight, might feel soft, might feel cold, might feel the temperature. So a soft tongue in the mouth and soft jaw. And feeling into the neck and the throat. We hold quite a lot of tension around our neck and our throat and our shoulders. So see if you can welcome whatever is there. The tension, maybe softness, tingling. So we're surrendering the weight of the body down into gravity. allowing the shoulders to release and let go down to gravity, down to the earth. Arms hanging gently off the sockets, not having to hold the arms on. Being aware of the rise and the fall of the breath in the chest area. So following the whole of an in-breath and the whole of the out-breath. There is only your breath. There's no right breath, whether it's tense or tight, shallow or deep. Moving round, down through the top of the back into the shoulder blades, deep in the spine. Allowing the breath to nourish all the organs. And moving down right through the spine, allowing the spine to surrender down to gravity. Not holding on, all their muscles can relax, release, let go as best they can. Deep through the back of the ribs. And maybe you can, maybe you can't feel any tiny, subtle movement in the back of the body. The breath moves through our back as well. And right down to the lower back. So the whole of the back now. Just lightly resting your awareness in the back of the body. And coming back round to the front of the body and the collarbones. Deep underneath the muscles in the chest and the heart area. That warm, friendly attention. Awareness of your body. And if you do feel areas of tension and tightness, and if it helps, do put a hand on the chest area, the tummy area. That really helps the nervous system to calm and to soothe. It's what we do to children. We hold them, cuddle them. So we can bring that caring attention to ourselves too. And down into the tummy, the middle of the tummy, the ribs. And feeling the breath expand and contract. The breath rolling in and out. All the organs getting a massage. Moving down to the lower tummy. Seeing if you can cultivate a little tiny more patience. The mind gets bored very easily and it will wander, and that's okay. So the practice is just to notice you've wandered, and come back. And you'll probably do that thousands of times. That is the practice. And feeling the arms deep in the shoulders. And down the tops of the arms, the bottoms of the arms. Allowing all the tension to roll down through the earth into gravity. And what are the sensations? Getting close up awareness of the sensations within your hands. Moving down now into the hips and the pelvis. The structure, the bones, the muscles, and how each part of the body performs an amazing function, helps us live, helps us sit, holds the legs on. And what do you notice in the thighs, the big long thigh muscles, big long thigh bones, a wonderful strength in the thighs. And through the knees, tops, middle, back, sides. And bringing your mind back when it wanders, when it gets distracted, starts telling stories. Just bring it back like a little friend, like a child, like a puppy. And down through the shins and the calves. So we're not looking for anything special. They're very subtle, simple sensations, all part of connecting to this amazing, wonderful body. Through the ankles and the feet. So the soles, the tops. Deep within the foot, each foot. And the toes, all the big toes and the little toes, and all the toes between. So the whole body breathing from the tip of the toes right up all through our major organ of our body, which is the skin, right up to our head. So staying with a few sensations of the breath, feeling, tracking the breath, where you feel the breath in the body. And I'm going to read you a poem. It's by L.R. Nost. And then it's awful. And then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing. Hold on through the awful. and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living, heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. So in your own time, and when you're ready, sort of bringing yourself even more present to how it feels after that practice. And if you're happy to put a comment in there so I can get a little bit of feedback on how that was for you, that would be any challenges, anything that was benefited you, that would be great. I really enjoyed leading it, and yeah, I hope that you've all got something from that practice. Until I see anything in the feed, if there isn't anything, I want to come to a couple of the questions that were raised by. Would like the poem to go on? Yep, will do. Thank you, that's lovely. I really enjoyed it. So a couple of the things that people are dealing with at the moment is obviously that one of the main ones is excuse me, is missing people, missing family during this lockdown. And I think the whole of this crisis has actually led people to things that we possibly take for granted a lot. People we love, we know we love them, they know we love that, we're, it's a mutual connection. But when we can't have that, when we can't have that, that puts us much, much deeper in touch with gratitude, things that really, really mean people what they mean, the depth of what they mean. So lovely to welcome you in my living room. Bless you. Lovely. Thank you. So that really do some special time of connection, of gratitude, but really we need to feel it in the muscle, we need to feel it in our nervous system. So we're very good at doing this processing with our thoughts. We know what we think, we know how it is, but actually what taking this time for yourself, even if it's just a couple of minutes a day, just really, hands-on, loving, really allowing it in, because what we have is a negativity bias. So our negativity bias means that the mind focuses on what's not good, what's not right, and when we let in the good, the depth of that love, the depth of those connections, it's sorry, I've just lost myself on the screen. I'm sorry. When we let that in, that really goes in. Like we said, we change the mind to change the brain. We will, all of us, be irreversibly changed, hopefully for the better, as a result when we're out of lockdown. So, knowing that changing it in our neural pathways gets it like deep into that nervous system, and it isn't then just a loss, it's actually a true, beautiful, enrichedness inside. So that was one of the things, which was around missing people. So that chance to practice gratitude. And if some of the things I've talked about have spoken to you today, please let me know. You can either private message me or pop it in a box and say what you'd like more of. If you've enjoyed this and you want to do more, then please let me know and we can respond to some of those things. And the science behind what we do, it isn't just a practice, it's a practice that's for generations. Being able to sit and be with ourselves is one of the ways that life is even richer. So another thing was around guilt at enjoying the lockdown, because for many people on the front line, they don't have the luxury of either working at home, of the space and the time to do jobs that maybe haven't been done because their jobs require and the scale of the loss of people and that guilt. So I think one of why we practice what we practice is that ability that we cannot change the scale and the severity of what's happening. We can only stay safe, care about the people that we care about, do our best, do our bit that we can do. That's all we can do. So when we find that we're locked in that guilt, thank you. When we find ourselves locked in that guilt of we shouldn't have what we've got, or we should be doing extra things in that time, which I'll come on to in a minute, the thing around motivation. So this is a chance to practice acceptance that life is never an even keel where everybody's experiencing life in an easy, lovely way. There's always suffering and struggle and things that we will always have more than other people and less than other people, So that is about that ability to be with our lives as they are and do the best that we can with the people that we know and the ways in which we engage in life. So when we notice that we're having that guilt and that uncomfortable experience, bringing some kindness and compassion to it, to say, we are all deserving of life. We are all deserving of, so being with what we have rather than that wish it should be some other way. Hope that answers your question. And the other one was about motivation, and there's an awful lot of really tacky stuff online that's saying, by the end of lockdown, you're going to have done this and that and that, do, you make your time, you be productive. Well, we don't have to do and engage in any of that. That isn't how we have to do it. We get that chance to do what we can, what we want to do, just because it needs doing, like might be sorting, tidying, like that book you were going to write or whatever. Actually, you don't have to do any of it. You could actually sit and indulge in however you want or be as productive as you want. There is no right way. So again, back to the guilt, the motivation, just notice, and that there's that chance to bring a little more kindness to ourselves when we spot ourselves in them patterns of overthinking it and judging, and just say, don't have to do that. Yeah. So I hope that's answered the questions. I'd love to directly respond to your needs, so please do let me know. And the sessions will be roughly 45 minutes to an hour, but like now we're on 40 minutes, and unless I hear anything else, I could click in the box if you'd like me to read another couple of poems, and then I'll post them on here afterwards as well. So if you'd like another couple of poems, then I will. Well, I'm going to read one anyway because I want to. And then if you want any more, I'll read another one. So this one is by Dana Folds, and it's called Walk Slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens. Make space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race. That we will all cross the finish line. That waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget to catch myself charging forwards, without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. And actually, Glenn, I remember that was one of your favourite poems. I didn't read it for that, but I'm glad it is that. Oops. Let me just find another lovely poem. Let's see. Next time I'll have them ready. I was just inspired to share today. Just for now. This is another Dana Folds one. Without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are, so fully alive that the world looks different. Newly born and vibrant, just for now. Well, I will post those poems. I'll put them, I'll figure out how I'm going to do that, but I will post them. Yeah, please, if you could, if you haven't, like the post, like my page, and share it with other people. That would be fantastic. If you want to join my email list, I'm going to start a monthly newsletter. So private message me with your email address and consent to join that email address list. Join me next week if you'd like to. And if you've got any questions, you can private message me with them, or you can post them on here. So I've absolutely loved being with you, and I look forward to being with you next week. Oh, there's a new challenge for me, Jules. Okay, I'll work out how to do that too. A podcast. Yeah, thank you. I'll wait for just a minute to see if there's a time delay and if there's any more questions. And just don't rush back into your day. See if you can take a few minutes just to be nourished by what you've just experienced. And I look forward to sharing some time with you next week. Oh, my heart is moved. God damn. Thank you all for your time. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go now. So thank you so much, and hope to see you next week. Bye bye.